Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of AEW Weekly Wrap Up. I am your host, Ethan Black. Today, we're going to be talking about AEW's Dark Elevation from December 26th, Darks from December 27th, and New Year's Smash from this past Friday. Sorry, this past Wednesday. Also, give you a preview of tonight's Rampage and next week's Dynamite. So we're going to start with AEW Dark Elevation from December 26th, or if you're in Canada, Boxing Day. So the opening contest, we had Beast of Burns as Nyla Rose and Mia Shafir goes Karsima and Leva Bates. Excuse me. Charisma goes after Nyla Rose, but Rose just hits some kicks. Basically takes control of the match, takes in Mia Shafir, while Karsima takes in Leva Bates, who tries to hit strikes with Shafir, but Shafir hits a couple kicks and North suplex and Uranagi. They take control. Nyla Rose gets back in, hits the knees of Bates when she was going for a splash. Kazima gets in, but Rose later with a choke slam. Went for a cover loop. Bates broke it up. Shavir tags in, catches Kazima with a modified armbar to get the submission win in 2 minutes and 54 seconds. All right, squash match. The second match, we had Julia Hart goes one with promising Braxton. They circle around to start the match as Julia Hart avoid a lockup. She slaps her, then hits a corner trick, then a knee, then a front foot clothesline, and then locks in the Heartless for the submission win in 1 minute 11 seconds. Our third match, we hit the Bunny go one on with Matt. Oh, sorry, before that, we go backstage to Vicky Guerrero. She's talking with Nyla Rose losing, in quotations, the TBS title and claims she should be managing champions. She feels disrespectful, and she said, "Now this is working anymore." Nyla Rose storms off while Maria Shafir just stands there and stays in silence. Now, the third match, the Bunny goes on with Madison Rain. Madison Rain was chief for the Bunny, hits Insecurity. Madison Rain takes control before Penelope Ford pulls Rain off the apron while the Bunny distracts the referee. She hits some stomps and connects with a running knee. Then hits a sliding D in the corner that got a 2 count. And then she does that reverse triangle choke over the top rope, but Rain comes back, hits a ripcord cutter, only for Ford distracts the referee so Rain can't get the cover. Rain does roar up the Bunny, but only got 2 count, but the Bunny hits a super kick, then hits down the rabbit hole for the win in 3 minutes. It was an okay match. A little too much interference from Penelope Ford, but otherwise the match wasn't too bad. Then after the match, the Bunny and the Ford, Penelope keeps stomping on Madison Rain for Sky Blue makes the save. Then we go backstage to Ethan Page. He cuts a promo in the back. He's did an amazing announcement for us and calls over Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy. He said that Hardy and Cassidy have the night up to the Southern Boxing Day. That is a holiday in Canada. I was happy when he brought as I am Canadian. Matt Hardy had Jefferson is being called away from his family on Christmas just till it's down for Boxing Day. Page said he was trying to be nice and bond with them. And he said since Mark Quinn's gonna be out for a while, it's time to switch up the dynamic and keep listening to him. They bring up Page coming in last minute, but Page said he's higher up in the hierarchy, so all falls under his umbrella. Ethan Page leaves and still variable boxing. Matt Hardy can't take much longer. The fourth match, Kinesuke Takeshita goes one with Frankie Kazarian. They lock up. They do some go behinds before Kazarian trips him, hits a side headlock, then hits a shoulder block, but Takeshita doesn't move. They go back to the ropes. Frank Kazarian's a jumping short block. And then they go back for some headlocks. Takeshita fights up, hits a back suplex, then an elbow, then a jumping clothesline. Frank Kazarian gets back in control by hitting a blade drop. That's on Takeshita the apron. Hits a slingshot DT that got a 1 count. They go back and forth. Frank Kazarian hits a Russian laser for a 2 count. Takeshita blocks a springboard leg drop, hits a blue thunder bomb for a near fall. Kazarian hits a swing neck breaker for a 2 count. Takeshita avoids a cross face chicken. That's Frank Kazarian's finisher. And then hits a bridging German suplex to get the 3 count in 5 minutes, 1 second. This match was excellent. I would recommend going and checking this match out. After the match, both men shook hands. Our fifth match, some tag team action. We got Ruby Soho teaming up with Willow Nightingale. They go get Fur Fixin and Maddie Warowski. Shoho and Rousey start the match. Shoho does a side headlock, then a shoulder block, and then she does a modified meter lock before chasing Will Gill. They take over. Fair Fixing gets tagged in. Then Gill but hits an insecure and a scoop slam. Shoho gets tagged back, hits an assist splash, got a 2 count. They're pretty much they go back and forth. The end of the match, Nine Gill hits a backbreaker on the Fair Fixin, and then Ruby Show hits the Destination Unknown to get the win for her team in 4 minutes 47 seconds. Little preview match for their match with TJ at New Year's Smash. Or six match. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. The Ring Honor Women's title on the line. Athena defends against Kiera Hogan. Kiera Hogan hits a draw kick, start the match off, then a dive in Hurricanrana, then a hip attack. Athena goes to the outside to avoid a kick from Hogan, but Hogan follows her with a baseball slide. But Athena throws her into the barricade and then throws her back, straight from the barricade, hits on strikes, and then she grabs the cameraman and hits a draw kick to her. They go back and forth in the ring. Athena hits a sit down for a 2 count. Athena walks in a neck ring, but Hogan gets out of it and hits a DDT. And then Kiera Hogan hits a running draw kick in the corner, then a head kick, followed by a super kick. That somehow only got a 2 count. Hogan goes to the top rope, but Athena knocks her down by the hair. She goes to the top rope. She tries to go for the old face. That's pretty much a top rope stunner. But they fight on the ropes for a bit. Hogan hits a hurricane, but Athena carries the second power. That was a nice spot there. Then she follows up with the Argentina backbreaker, followed by the code breaker to get the win. So Athena retains the Ring of Honor Women's title in 5 minutes 59 seconds. Another good match. This is another match I would recommend checking out. So after the match, Athena pretty much lays out Kiera Hogan by face planting to the DDT. On the Ring of Honor Women's title, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. In the main event, 7th final match, Jericho goes one with Blake Christian. Right away, they trading strikes. And then Jericho goes fired if he won more. He wears down Christian with some chops, but Blake Christian comes back with a jumping knee. Jericho hits a hurricane, then a dive to the floor. And then he throws him to the barricade, throws him back in the ring, hits a springboard swanton bomb that only got a 2 count. Blake Christian hits a modified DT on the apron, then goes for the Flossberry flop for DT. That is a beautiful spot. Every time I see it, he does it. They get back in the ring. Christian goes to the top rope while Jose, the assistant, bounces them off. But Christian somehow stays on the ropes, only for Jericho to hit a second rope hurricane, which he goes for the cover. Christian kicks out. He goes for a moonsault. He misses. Christian hits a running Spanish fly, followed by 450. That only got a 2 count. He goes for more strikes, but Jose, the assistant, trips him up. That sets up Jericho to hit the Canadian Destroyer to get the win in 3 minutes 59 seconds. Fun little main event. I would recommend go and check this match out. So that was AEW Dark Elevation. My 3 recommendations for the match, if you have to share it, will be Takeshita vs. Kazarian, the Ring of Honor Women's title match, and then Jericho and Blake Christian. So that is AEW Dark Elevation from December 26th. Now we go to Dark from December 27th. We started with Angel Go, 1/3 of Spanish announced project goes one with Dante Casanova. They lock up, they exchange submissions before Angel hits a knee to the thigh of Casanova. Casanova sends Angel to the mat before Angel trips him and walks in a full body submission for the win in 2 minutes and 37 seconds. We go backstage to Lexi Nears with the Andersons, Brock and Arn, and she asks how Brock feels going to his match with Matt Menard later on tonight. Brock says the Andersons were left standing alone last year. He would have put him in the corner. There's fire under his ass. And the journey from the corner starts tonight. Arn adds in that it's always been the Andersons against the world, and they did a lot of bad things over the past 4 decades. He tells his son to let the world know how good he is and tell him to show him who he is. Second match, we got the Workhorsemen, that's JD Drake and Anthony Henry. They go against the Hugh brothers, as Terrell and Terrence Hughes. So the match, Anthony Henry and Terrell Hughes locks up. They exchange submissions before JD Drake and Terrence Hughes gets tagged in. Terrence hits a Manhattan drop, then a sliding cross body. JD Drake gets in control, hits a chop and an elbow. He brings Henry back in. They pretty much take control, and then the match ends with Anthony Henry hits a backbreaker for the win. in 5 minutes 38 seconds. Fun little matchup between these two teams. The third match, we got Fuego del Sol goes one with Lucky Ali. Fuego del Sol hits a drop kick, then a Hurricanrana, then several kicks to the face. Lucky Ali shoves Del Sol into the corner before he sends him off the ropes and tries to raise his mask off. Del Sol hits a kick to the Ali's head, hits a shooting star press, and then a tornado DT for the win in 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Our fourth match, JS's Matt Menard goes one with Brock Anderson. Matt Menard sends Brock Anderson to the map, but Brock comes back with a couple arm drags and a back suplex. And then he hits a few stomps to the arm of Menard before he rolls to the outside. Menard gets back inside, hits a Larry in the back elbow. He gloats to the fans at Universal Studios. Anderson returns for everyone. He sends him to the mat, sends him down to the mat, but Menard explodes the middle turnbuckle. Brock hits several shorts to his such, but the end of the match happens when Menard shoves him into the exposed turnbuckle and it rolls him up for the win in 4 minutes and 44 seconds. This match wasn't too bad. So the fifth match, Dark Order's Evil Uno goes one-on-one with Blake Lee. Match starts with you offers his hand to Blake Lee, but he pushes him. So Uno gets mad and hits a kick. Hits a chop, but Blake Lee comes back with a forearm running uppercut. Uno hits a short tackle and a splash to corner and hits something evil for the win in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. The sixth match, Red Velvet goes one with Billy Starks. Velvet attacks Starks from behind. Then the bell rings. Velvet sends her into the turnbuckle. Hits a running kick and then several right hands. Billy Starks comes back with forearms, then hits a kick to the midsection. Velvet hits a tope suicida to the outside, and then hits a senton off the top, and then hits the knees to the back, followed by the corkscrew kick. I can't remember what the name is called, but she gets the win in 1 minute 54 seconds. The seventh match, tag team match, Orange Savages has Bronson and Boulder, aka formerly known as Bear Country. They go against Jameson Ryland and Brandon Bullock. So Bronson and Brandon Bullock lock up. They kick the match off before Bullock hits some right hands. And then Boulder gets tagged in. He sends Bullock across the ring. He makes a tag to Jameson Ryland. Hits a big boot to his face. And then they go back and forth. Boulder tags in Bronson. And then they do that backpack cannon combo for the win in 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Our eighth match, Dean Monte goes with Mafiosa. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure how to say that name, so I do apologize for butchering that. This was another squash match. Dean Monte hits kicks to her, Dragon School, but Mafiosa sends her in the middle turnbuckle face first. Dean Monte hits a crossbody and a clothesline, stunner German suplex, and then at the end of the match, she hits the code red for the win in 1 minute 48 seconds. In the ninth and final match, the main event of Dark, AR Fox goes one with Trespasser Slim J. They lock up and then they exchange in the early goings of this match. AR Fox hits an arm drag, but Slim J comes back. But AR Fox hits a twisting brainbuster. That was a cool move. Slim J fires back with a running slice spread, fires off right hands, and then chokes AR Fox on the middle rope. They go to the outside. Slim J sends AR Fox to the stage. Throws him back in the ring, connects with a suplex and enziguri and a lariat. That sends Fox face first in the turnbuckle to the top turnbuckle. Fox sends Slim J into the corner, then hits a high boot and a lariat. They go back and forth. He hits a rolling cutter. That only got a 2 count. Slim J hits his tornado DT suplex combo, then falls with a flatliner and a diving elbow drop off the top. Diving back elbow off the top. My apologies. Then he goes back on top, but AR Fox pulls him off and hits it with another cutter. Hits a springboard Spanish fly, and then falls by with the 450 splash for the win in 8 minutes and 54 seconds. That was his 9 match. This was the longest match. This was a fun match. I would recommend checking this match out. I give it 6 out of 10. So that was AEW Dark from this past Tuesday. And now we're going to head to New Year's Smash from this past Wednesday, December 28th, from Broomfield, Colorado. So our opening match is the Firm's Ethan Page goes one with Bryan Danielson. Before the match hit, the world champ MJF comes. Music hits. We see him. He's sitting in the looks like a skybox with a woman. He said that he calls the only good one local in the state of Colorado. With MJF talking, that distracts Bryan Danielson. Ethan Page attacks from behind, but Danielson gets back in control, hits a drop kick to the corner of Page. Danielson works on Page's ankle by twisting and stomping on it. Ethan Page comes back. He tries to go for a superplex, but Danielson butts him off, hits a flying drop kick. Stokely Hathaway gets on the apron, but Danielson knocks his head off, and then before dropping Page to the outside, he hits a dive. Stokely halfway distracts Danielson. He waits to get back in the ring, but Ethan Page kicks him off. We go to a commercial break. We come back. They start trading uppercuts before Danielson hits a drop toe hold to Page and kicks him in the corner. Danielson hits a Hurricane Runner off the top rope. Does his yes kicks. Page ducks one, sets him to the outside, hits a baseball draw kick, but misses the running off the apron as Stokely pushes Page out of the way. Danielson gets thrown to the steel steps, and Page hits a power slam for hitting a cutter for a 2 count. Danielson only got a 2 count from the running house kick before locking on the bell lock, but Ethan Page gets to the ropes. Danielson was going to the top rope, but Ethan Page, sorry about that, stops him and hits an avalanche power slam. Danielson did try to fight out by elbowing him, but Page hits it for a 2 count. He tries to go for Ego's edge, but Danielson escapes and hits deep by the running knee. He stomps on his head and locks in the Rigo stretch, and Ethan Page just passes out. So Bryan Danielson is your winner in 17 minutes and 39 seconds. Excellent banger match between these two. I give this match 8 out of 10. I would recommend going and checking this match out. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch between those two again. Then we get a video from our TNT champion and Ring of Honor television, James Samoa Joe, who said he came up here for all the titles, including the one Wardlow had. As they talk about their time as War Joe, he took notes to understand what made Wardlow what made his, and when he fails, he proved he didn't do his homework. Speaking of Wardlow, we see Renee Paquette backstage for the number one contender Wardlow, who talks about being way too much work and talks about action. Before he could finish his sentence, Samoa Joe comes out of nowhere and hits Wardlow in the knee with a pipe and screamed that he took this to him. We come back from commercial break. We see Renee Paquette try to get a medical update from Hangman Page, who says it's week to week. It's not looking positive. And they don't have a good answer for him. She mentions how Jon Moxley has a match coming that gets him fired up. The doctor said it's possible to get Page back in the ring in 2 weeks. That's January 11th at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. But if he gets fired up every week, every time someone mentions Moxley's name, that might not happen. Page gets in the ring. So our second match, we got Blackpool Combat Club's Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley go against Top Flight. So Top Flight attacks Blackpool Combat's before the bell rings, but BCC were able to fight back, takes them to the outside. Jon Moxley sends Darius in the ring to start the match, but he takes out Claudio. They take control. Moxley starts taking his nails in Darius' back. They find the top rope. Darius knocks Moxley off, hits a draw kick before finally makes take to his brother Dante, who hits a crossbody off the top on the Moxley, followed by a standing moonsault that got a 2 count. Dante stays in control as we go to a picture break. We came back. Darius is working on Moxley as commentary, so there's no update on Wardlow yet. Castagnoli gets a tag in, hits Dante with European uppercuts in the corner. Castagnoli teases a giant swing, but Dante comes and breaks it up before Castagnoli puts Darius in it, and Dante was hopping over his brother during the swings. Top Flight start double teaming Castagnoli, but he fights back with a double superplex. But Top Flight comes back, but Moxley breaks up the pin attempt. Dante saves Darius from an uppercut from Castagnoli, but Castagnoli throws Dante to the outside as he dies on the Moxley. Darius Martin hits a Spanish fly, a standing one for a 2 count. Darius and Castagnoli go back and forth till Castagnoli hits a neutralizer, but that got a 2 count. The fans went nuts for that spot. Even Castagnoli couldn't believe it. Claudio starts dropping elbows on Darius. Dante tries to stop, but Castagnoli kept going, so Moxley lays him out with a lariat. Moxley sends Dante to the outside, hits him with a paradigm shift on the floor. Darius shots flies on Castagnoli, but Castagnoli knocked him out with an uppercut to get the win in 13 minutes 55 seconds. Great tag team match between these two teams. I give it 7 out of 10. This was pretty much a continuation of what happened on Rampage this past Friday. In that 300K Casino Trios Battle Royal, it came down to Top Flight, AR Fox gets back. Claudio was left for the BCC. Top Flight was left for them and AR Fox, and they won the cash. So we go backstage. We see. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I get a little cold coming on, so I do apologize for the coughing and stuff. I do apologize. We got Renee Paquette is backstage with best friends, the All Like Jim, Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, Chuck Taylor, and Danhausen, along with Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. Sabian asked for his time. He said they've done this far too long. And last week when he eliminated Cassidy in that Trios Battle Royal, it's time for where he peels the All Like off Cassidy. But Trent Beretta mentions how he eliminates Sabian. So Cassidy says that Beretta will get the All Like title shot this Friday first, and it'll be on Rampage. Sabian was gonna try to debate that, but he said never mind. As Trent Beretta asked, "Are you sure?" So we get that match on Friday. Third match, FTW champion Hook goes one with Balaam Lynx. This was a squash match. Hooks gets the win in 51 seconds via Red Rum. Another squash match from Hook. After the match, Stokely Hathaway, Big Bill, and Lee Morinari come out. And Stokely said every week someone wants to tell him the Hook is such a badass, but against them, he will give a jaw down, calls him the Southline Airlines of AEW. But before he can make it to the ring, Jack Perry comes out and brawls with Lee Morinari on the stage. And then in the ring, Big Bill gets in Hook's face. Hook tried to suplex Big Bill, but he goes for the chokeslam. Jack Perry comes in for a 2x4 and takes Bill out with it. And then we see highlights of what's going on with Chris Jericho over the last couple of weeks before he cuts a promo on Ricky Starks for their match next week at the first Dynamite 2023. He said that Ricky Starks mocked him, called him the JS Jobbers. He called Starks a small-minded and a flash in the pan because he has the arrogance and confidence of a superstar, but doesn't have the tools like him. On January 4th, he's going to school Starks and take him from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the ocean and back. He says he always wins and tells Starks to check on Action Andrade. It tells Andrade to not come back to AEW after getting fireball in his face and goes back to the Indies. And he said in Seattle, Starks will pay the price. It embarrassed him, put it into the Starks experiment. And somewhere else backstage, we got Renee Paquette. Man, she was busy tonight. Going all these interviews, give Tony Schiavone a break. She's back with the Mall affiliates. That is Shane Strickland, Parker Boudreaux, who was in the Trustbusters, and some tattoo on No Man. Swerve said that they did last week was beautiful work, and Keith Lee had to go and had to be replaced with two people who believe in this vision. Where Yuta interrupts and says he couldn't think of anything else less than Swerve and need a ban up tattoo mission for Yuta challenges for a match this Friday on Rampage. Our fourth match, or sixth match of the best of 7 series, it is a Falls Count Anywhere match. Trios champ Death Triangle with 3 wins goes against Elite with 2 wins. So they start the match backstage in the hallway where Death Triangle and Elite were brawling. Pentagon Jewel were swinging trash cans. Pac hit suplexed Omega onto the wooden pallets. He hits a moonsault off some equipment on the Elite. Matt Jackson said Ray Phoenix threw a back body drop for the King with a back body drop. Nick Jackson dove off the Raptors on the Pentagon Jr. for a table that only got a 2 count. They make their way onto the stage where Phoenix is doing on the Young Bucks, but Omega came out of nowhere, hits a V trigger on him. Pac and Omega brawl on the stage for a bit before he hits a German suplex. Goes for the cover, but Matt Jackson breaks it up. Matt Jackson did the Norway suplex on the ramp, all the way down the ramp. To Pac, Ray Face gets involved, but Nick Jackson dives onto him. On the Pentas, we go to pitcher and pitcher. We come back, they're in the ring. Pac brings in some trash cans. They hit a triple drop kick on Omega with the trash can on him. That only got a 2 count. The Elite takes control before both trios trick some quick offense, and Omega hits Pac with the trash can. Hits it with the feed trigger for like Dr. Bomb on the trash can. That only got a 2 count. He goes for the one wing angel, but Pentagon stops him with Lucha Bros, hits Matt Jackson with the double stomp fear factor combo on the outside. Nick Jackson broke that up. I thought that I'll be honest, I thought that was over. Ray Phoenix takes out the Elite. Pentagon, Nick Jackson bound the apron. Young Bucks takes out Penta with the mounted driver on the floor. They go for a cover, but Pac broke that count up. Matt Jackson, Pac were inside the ring. He hits a shooting star press, but misses. Nick Jackson throws a chair at his face, as well as a Pentagon. They take out Pentagon with the BTE trigger. Pac breaks up the count again. Matt Jackson accidentally super kicks his brother Nick, and then Pac walks in. Matt Jackson, as this was happening, they did a split screen. Omega lifts Phoenix up. They're on top of some structure. I don't know if that was part of the stage or not. Hits a 1-1-8 for 2 tables for the win. As you see in the ring, Matt Jackson was tapped out to Pac. But that was after the 3 count made, so Dasha announced that the Elite had won at 16 minutes and 2 seconds. Another excellent match. This best of 7 series has been great between these two trios. So far, the 6 matches they had, the top 2 were the first match of Full Gear and this one. So on January 11th, the 7th and final match will be a ladder match. They're not doing it next week because Omega will be at Tokyo Dome challenging Will Ospreay for the IWGP US title. So I give this match 9 out of 10. This is another match I would go recommend checking out. Then we get a music video from the World Tag Champs, The Acclaim, where they're making fun of Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. The main lines I got out of this was calling them a carny, scamming people like Global Force Gold, stealing Kurt Angle's wife. Matt Caster called Jay Lethal the best thing in Ring of Honor's worst years. And then basically being in TNA forever. That was pretty much the gist of his rap. The 5th match, tag team match, Tay J, that's Tay Mello and Anna J. Goes against Ruby Soho and Lil Nightingale. Will Nightingale and Tay Mello start the match off. Soho takes herself in. Anna J gets a tag in as well, and Soho slams Jay to the mat and punches her. Nightingale takes back in. They double team Anna J. That only got a 2 count. TJ takes control and starts choking Nightingale in the corner. We go to pitcher and pitcher. We come back. Ruby Soho's back in. She takes Mel out with a forearm. First, she sends her face first on the turnbuckle. Anna J starts running from Soho, but she catches up to her and takes her down before she hits the no future on Mello. But that only got a 2 count. Both teams start fighting before all 4 are laying in the middle of the ring. Anna J gets sent to the outside as Will and Go and Soho start double team Mello, but Anna J breaks the pen attempt. Mello hits the DDT on Soho, goes for the cover, but Nightingale breaks it up. Nightingale sends Anna J to the outside, hits a suplex as Soho and Mello trade hit butts. Soho falls on top of Mello, but Mello somehow got the shoulder up. Anna J grabs the steel chair, but referee Aubrey Alvarez pulls it from her. As she's dealing with that, Tay Mel grabs the chair. She throws it at Soho. Soho's just standing there, waiting for her to hit it. So she does. She hits a pump kick to it, and then followed by the Tay KO for the win. And 11 minutes 58 seconds. I give this match 3 out of 10. Now, it was an all-right match. I just couldn't get into it. I'm just not a big fan of the booking of Ruby Soho. This feud just needs to end. I'm sorry, this feud just needs to come to an end. And then we go backstage. Lexi Neer tries to get a word with the Guns, who are leaving the building. They said they had a reservation 20 minutes, and they are the greatest tag team, and they'll address their win over FTR next week. So they run down the card for Rampage and Dynamite, but I'll get to that after. So we get Ricky Stark cutting a promo about Chris Jericho, the match next week, how there is no Stark's spirit, and he will prove Jericho wrong. So our 6th and final match, the main event, the TNT title, Samoa Joe defends against Wardlow. Wardlow music hits. He doesn't come out first, but Samoa Joe gets on the mic and proclaims himself the king of television. Wardlow makes his way out limping. He tried to hold back by officials, but he gets to the ring. The match starts. He goes right after Joe, chokes him out in the middle rope. He smacks his injured knee back into place. They go back and forth. Until Joe hits a knee breaker, sends him to the outside. We go to a break. We come back from the break. We see Doc Samson look at Wardlow's knee, but he gets back in the ring and Joe takes control, sends him in a corner with chops. And then he goes for a superplex, but Wardlow headbutts him off and hits a swanton, but he goes for the cover. He goes for the knee. Wardlow was able to fight back since Joe in the corner hits a whisper in the wind that got a 2 count. Wardlow escapes a sleeper hold. He knocks Joe down for a 2 count, places him on the top rope, but Wardlow hits Joe with a power bomb, but his knee gave out, so Joe takes advantage. He chop blocks him and locks in a sleeper hold to Wardlow passes out. So Samoa Joe retains the TNT title in 12 minutes and 12 seconds. I give this match 6 out of 10. This was a good match. So after the match, Samoa Joe showing respect for Wardlow, but he takes him out with the TNT title. Grabs a toolbox from under the ring and finds a pair of scissors. Paul Turner, the referee, tried to stop Joe, but Joe headbutts him, and he cuts off Wardlow's ponytail. Darby Allin's music hits, but he cuts behind Samoa Joe and lays him out with a skateboard, and Darby Allin poses with the TNT title to close out the final Dynamite of 2022. Great episode of Dynamite. The first hour was excellent. The top 2 matches I recommend going and checking out is the Elite and Trios, the Falls Count Anywhere match, and Ethan Page and Bryan Danielson. So this Friday on Rampage, I'm just going to give you the spoilers. So Orange Cassidy defends the All-Night title against Trent Beretta. Kip Sabian will be in action. Jake Cargo defends the TBS title against Kiera Hogan. Sora Strickland goes one with Wheeler Yuta. We're going to hear from the women's champ Jamie Hayter and Jon Moxley. So next week's Dynamite, January 4th. As of right now, 2 matches. We have Ricky Starks going with Chris Jericho, and Samoa Joe defends the TNT title against Darby Allin. January 11th, the only 2 matches as of right now is Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter goes against Rod and Mystery Partner. The 7th and final match of the Best of 7 series, Death Triangle and the Elite in a ladder match. And I believe Jon Moxley and Hangman Page is confirmed. So yeah, that was the Rampage and the next 2 Dynamites. This has been AEW Weekly Wrap Club. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Thank you and have a happy new year.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.